So I'll be providing you the class notes after each class, and I'll be providing you the recording also. I have just done a recording for the previous batch. Okay, so for the previous batch, where like in shared path, all recordings are there. All recordings are there. Okay, so if you'll see here, data warehouse concept, all recordings are there. I'll be providing you class by class how will we process it. Okay, and moreover, the SQL part also going on. It's going on. So approximately 70% it's completed. 70% it's completed, and we'll be providing you class by class how it will be done. Okay, so this is what we are going to cover in the ETL testing. This is the method we are going to cover in ETL testing. Coming back to any question, guys, anyone? So if no one is having questions, so we'll move forward. So coming back to the data warehouse concept, the first thing we are going to learn that what is data warehouse, what is ETL testing and all. Okay, so what is data warehouse? And our first topic is like data warehouse architecture. So what is architecture? How our data warehouse architecture looks like? What are the ETL tools we are going to use? All these things. How we are going to be? How we are going to get data from source and all these things. Okay. So overall, this is a yeah, we'll provide you the mapping document. Someone is asking the mapping document. We'll provide you the real based database based mapping document. The with the all business logic, business rules will be applied, and I'll show you in the Informatica that how we are going to validate. Okay, how we are going to validate. So let's start with the our classes. So let me just. So what is happening? If you'll, this is the data warehouse normal architecture. Okay, so whatever the ETL process is there, it will come through the different layer of the segment, and it will be processed to the final layer. So this is the data warehouse, which is the final layer, target layer. Okay, and these are the data mart, which is subject specific. This is the layer where reports will be generated, for the decision making purpose. So if you will go through from the starting, consider one example. SBI Bank. Consider SBI Bank. Okay, so everyone know that SBI Bank. Okay, State Bank of India. It's operate in all over India, even though in a village and small cities and all places they have. So consider that they have branches. Okay, so they have bank in all over cities. Consider they have 100,000 branches. Okay, so 1,000 branches, and they have 5,000 ATMs. So they have 1,000 branches, they have 5,000 ATM, and from online banking also they are able to generate the data. So when we go to the bank, and we deposit, we withdraw the money, we deposit the check and other things. Okay, so what it will be? It will generate the transaction. Okay, so in source side, it will be considered as source. It will be considered as source, a store side, and those transactions will be generated, and it will be stored in some particular area. So that particular area is this one, so that they will be able to keep history. If you will go to bank and if you will say that 5 years back, how much I have did transaction, how much I was getting, complete a statement you can withdraw. How can you withdraw? Because your data is stored securely. In a database, like it, this is the target database. Okay, so here it will be stored, your banking data, whatever the data you have, it will be stored here, so that you in future also you will be able to fetch the data, and user can be able to take the decision based on the this layer, based on the whatever the data they have stored in the target. So what it means, what decision they will be able to take? they will see that 1 year back or 5 years back, how much they were having transaction. Okay, how much they were having transaction, how much they were having profit, branch wise or like state wise or country wise, overall, how much they were having profit 5 years back. Now this year, how much they have profit quarter wise or half yearly wise or full year wise. They will check that all these things. They can take the decision based on that. They will take the decision. 5 years back, this branch was doing good. Now it's not doing good. What happened? If nearby any other bank came, these are the things they will be able to analyze the data from the history data. So the transaction, what it will be generated from the source system. Source system as what are the source we have? We have a branch as a bank branch as a source. We have ATM as a source because ATM also when you'll go, when you'll swipe your ATM card, you will be able to withdraw the money. You'll be able to deposit the money. That also will be considered as a transaction only. The online banking, whatever the banking you are using, so you will be able to generate data. Okay, you are going to transact. If you are transferring money, if you are opening RD, FD, if you are sending receiving money, so those are considered as transaction. And a low apart from this, bank will have a loan account also. So many customers will have loan account. So all these things will be considered as a source. Okay, all these layers will be considered as a source. So they'll be generating millions of data. So and those data will be processed to the staging area. What is staging area? So this is also database where like data will be stored temporarily to clean the data. Whatever the data will come from the source, it will be raw data. It will have some impurity, like name will be not in proper, or email ID not in proper, mobile number not in proper, or your some informations will be not in proper. So those things will be cleaned here. They will make data in a proper structured data. Okay, so they will make data in a proper structured data before transferring to it. Okay, so they will make this data to a proper data by cleaning it, by removing the unwanted data. Okay, and to make the data proper, they will be doing cleaning process and all these things. And based on this, whatever the requirement will be given from the business. Now business want to do some changes in their raw data. Okay, so source data they want to do some changes, and they want to store after that. So let me show you the database, how exactly customer want to load their data. Okay. So this is the Oracle database we are going to use in our daily practice. Okay, so in a daily practice, we are going to use Oracle database, and this is the schema, and these are the schemas we are going to use in our daily practice. So I will tell you how to install all these things. Don't worry. So let me just fetch the table first, and I'll show you the what is this tables. Okay. So if you run this table, this employee is a table, and employee is having complete knowledge of complete details of employee related information. So employee table will have all details of the employee table. So what are the details? Are there? Employee ID, their first name, last name, email, phone number, hire date, job ID, salary, commission percentage, manager ID, department ID. All these details are there in a company. Not able to hear my voice? Guys, please confirm. Are you able to hear my voice?
Yes, Jen. Yes, Jen.
Yes,
You are
yes.
audible.
Yeah.
Okay, Bharat, please check from your side. Maybe your voice will be little low. Okay. So just check from your side. And I do request everyone, I'll be sharing you these notes. Okay. I'll be sharing you these notes. Please share your name and mail ID. Please share your name and mail ID so that I can share you in after the class to your mail ID. These are the notes I'm going to share you. Complete data warehouse notes I'm going to share you. Please share your name and mail ID in a chat box. Okay, in a chat box, you just drop it's the drop or your drop your mail ID and name. Okay, so so that I can share you the class notes, and this is for the attendance purpose also. So who joined my class? Okay, so this is what we are following the method. So coming back to the classes, here what are the details are there in this employees table? Employee related, all details are there. All details are there. Okay, so but if you will see here, the first name and last name are different columns are there. So this is a different column and this is a different column. Customer want no, I want consider that this is the staging area data. Okay, customer want no, I want one name only, one name only. You provide one column only in target with a name Stephen King. Stephen King as a one name. Okay. And email ID, if you'll see here, email ID is missing with the signature. Email ID is missing with the signature. There is no signature in email ID. So customer want know I how will I identify that whether this person is King is from gmail.com or outlook.com or yahoo.com. Please mention the Gmail signature also so that in future we can able to send the mail. If your phone number, if you'll see, phone number, if you'll see, this two dots are there. But India, we have 10 digit full continuous numbers are there. So the customer want to make it phone number with country code also. India country code is +91. So please mention the country code also. Okay, higher date, it's a proper only, but year wise, if you'll see 03 is there. So we just got confused that what is this 06 and 03? It's year or month, which one is year and month? So they will say that, okay, if it's a 06 is a month and 03 is a year, then mention as 2003 as a full. So these are the changes they will want, where they will want, they will say that you make changes in this layer and then load data accordingly to the data warehouse, okay. So what they will do, these are the source system where it will generate transaction data will be generated, customer data will be generated, and in this layer we are going to clean the data, we are going to transform the data according to the business rules, how customers want their data to be loaded in a target. And this is the data warehouse, target database, where your final data will be loaded after all these rules are applied. Your final data will be loaded. Okay, your final data will be loaded so that it will be in a proper structured manner, and it will go to the reporting layer. Okay, so this is the business layer. Where business people means like your head, like the company CEO, company owner, or the company head, decision makers people. Okay, so they will be able to generate the data from this. They will be able to see the guys. Please go on mute. Who is not talking? Okay, so the business, this is the decision maker layer. Okay, so decision maker layer. Who is the decision maker in the company? What they will do? They will check their progress, business progress. End of the day, it's a matter of money. It's the end of the day, it's a matter of money. Okay, so if they will not have progress, so there is no need to run the business. So they are also looking the company owners and all. They are also looking some kind of profit. So that's why they will be able to take decision from this layer, whether which bank, which ATM is like they are having a loss. Okay, which branch is not able to generate the like profit, or like which branch is having less number of loans, because most of the profit will come from the loan department only, because you will be paying 7%, 8% of interest, personal loan, home loan, others loan, vehicle loans and all. It will be like you will be getting the whole profit from this loan department only. Okay, so from this loan department only you will be getting the most of the your profit. Okay, so and the bond and all, whatever the bond in bank, it will be there. So what they will do, they will take a store wise decision, state wise decision, city wise decision, for 1 year decision, 1 year report they will be generated, and they will they will able to take the decision that okay, this year we have 2000 crore profit, we have 10,000 crore profit, we have lost in Karnataka, we have lost in Delhi, we have profit, more profit in Maharashtra. So if what decision they will take, if they will think that Maharashtra is generating lots of revenue, then they will add more branches in that places. Okay, so like that they will do the decision making. Okay, so like that they will do the decision making. based on the transaction data, what it will be processed after the cleansing and transformation rules will be applied. So our role is what? Our ETL tester's role is to validate this cleaning data, okay, this staging area to target database, so that we will validate whatever the transformation rules are applied, from the customer, that we are getting proper data in a target or not. Based on that rule, we are getting data in a target or not. So those rules we are going to validate in this layer, and this layer. So we are not going to work in a store by layer. So from a store, from 1,000 store, or from the all transaction, or transaction data will be stored in one database, and in that database we will have only the read access, and we will be validating those data with this layer and this layer. And how we are going to load data from this layer to this layer and this layer to this layer? We are using Informatica tool to load source data to a staging area, and then from a staging area to target database. And where rules will be applied, the developer will create mapping to apply these all banking related rules, or like other rules in a mapping document in a Informatica. And we will not have access to the mapping document. If you'll see, I'm just going to cover the Informatica tool also. Okay, repository. So this is the Informatica tool, what we are going to run in our real time. Okay, so this is very complex tool, where like what is this? This is the complete Informatica tool. People who had not pinged, please ping your mail ID and name for the attendance purpose, as well as I'll share you the class notes after this class. Okay, class notes after this class. So if you'll see here, this is the designer window, where developer will design their mapping, and they'll apply this rule. So we will not have access to designer window tool. We will not have access to designer window tool in a real-time project. Okay, in a real-time project, but we will have access as a ETL tester. We will have access in a workflow manager window, workflow manager window. Okay, and we will be running our job here to load the data to a particular databases, and we will be validating those data in a database. So our roles will be to run the job, to monitor the job, and if jobs will be failed, we have to monitor that why it's failed. We have to examine it, and we have to check that source record how much is there, and target record how much data is processed. So that is what we have the progress. Okay, what this is what we have the progress. Okay, now if you'll see here, any question guys in this?
Jayant, Romel this side.
Yeah, Romel, yeah,
Uh,
last class also we
yeah,
have.
Jayant,
Yeah.
suppose we are considering the example of SBI Bank as you told. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So SBI Bank is situated more than 1,000 countries, 1,000 cities or villages or whatever. Have
Mm.
more than 1,000 branches, correct?
Yes,
So
yes.
all data, whatever coming from the SBI, is
Mm.
directly going on their warehouse, or it may be going to the ETL staging area by performing some transformation. It is going to warehouse.
So yeah, let me explain. So consider this is the pen. Okay. So what we are going to see. Consider this is what one branch. Okay, one branch, or consider this is the 1,000 branch we have. Now data will be generated from this. Okay, this is the ATM. We have 5,000 ATMs all over India. Consider it. Okay, all over India, all over the world. This is considered loan department where data will be generated. Okay, and this considered as a what else it will be there, maybe FD, RD, or some other details will be there. From all these things, data will be generated, millions of data will be generated, and it will move to one particular database. Maybe it will be in a Mumbai or Delhi, it will be there, and all this transaction data will be stored in this layer. Okay, and end of the day or end of the week, it will move to the staging area. Okay, so staging area to clean this raw data properly, to make the business logic in this layer, and Then after that, when the data will be proper and all business logic will be applied, then data will be moved to here. Consider that end of the day, we will have 1 million of record, 1 million of record. So that data will move to end of the day after processing. So it will be stored first here in a landing area, and then it will move to the staging area database. And then after transformation rules applied, it will move to the data warehouse. Okay, the final layer. Got it, Romil?
Yes, that's
Hmm.
absolutely clear. Just want to know, okay, there are like a million of users are there for SBI Bank, correct?
Hmm.
So lots of the users are there daily going to be inactive. Daily new users are going to be active with the bank. So
Hmm.
whatever the inactive users are there, that
Hmm.
record is also been maintained on the our warehouse.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. See, this is the history data. Okay, so this is the history data. So consider you are using your bank account 1 year back you were using, or 5 years back you were using. Okay, so 5 years back when you were doing a transaction, you were in active status. Last year you were not using transaction and all. Your account become deactivate. Okay, so your account deactivated because more than 6 months or 1 year, if you will not do transactions, so your account will go in a deactivate mode. But still you have the passbook and all these things. So you will go to bank and you will ask that, okay, boss, give me 2019 data. Give me 2019 data. I want to I want to take the statement of this 2019 data. So they will be able to give because your history data is stored here. Got it?
So, but yeah, sorry to interrupt, Jan. But
Mm.
whenever I'm going to the bank and asking them the data for more than 1 year, they guys are always telling us "Ki we don't have the data more than 1 year."
No, no, it's not like that. They have to request from. See, I am not going to the bank, right? Just try to understand the process. Try to
No,
understand the
no,
process.
no, no. I'm understanding just ki how
Huh.
much capacity warehouse has. Just I'm
See,
trying to understand ki, yeah, how big the warehouse can be
it
because
depends on the
SBI.
company. Yeah, it depends on the company how many years data they will store. So banking, if you will go to the banking 5 years back, also data you will be able to generate. Okay, because in mobile banking also, if you want, your data range will be there, correct? If you'll go to the mobile banking, okay, so I'm able to generate the 3 years back, 4 years back data. So how it is done? Because it will be stored in the data warehouse, and just I'm explaining in a normal way. Okay, don't take in a a real manner. Company will have their own architecture. Okay, so they will decide that how their data will be stored in a what format. So just try to understand that in what format they want to store it. Okay, so if they want, they don't see bank wise, maybe they will have access for 1 year, but their server will be in somewhere in a Mumbai or somewhere in a Delhi. Whole history will be kept in a database. Whole history will be kept in a database. Whole history will be stored in a one their server. Okay, so they have to request to the branch. Okay, so I'm not going in a functioning of how the bank and all are doing, but this is the general purpose. This is the general things what company they are doing it. If you'll go in Amazon, your web portal, okay, in the mobile app and all these things, you will be able to fetch details of 2 years back what product you have purchased. Correct, Romil?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so
Got it.
how they
Absolutely.
are going to give you from that the data warehouse, whatever the history they kept, from there only it will be given. So just try to understand the concept. It is going
Yes,
to
got it.
store
Got
the
it. Now
yeah.
cleared. Yeah. Thank you
Other
so
question?
much.
No
No,
problem,
no,
Roman.
pretty cleared.
Yeah. Any question, guys?
Janardhan here.
Your voice is breaking. Can you make it proper?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jayanth, is it audible now?
Yeah, yeah, it's audible. Much better.
Yeah. See, I don't have any question at the moment, but I wanted to suggest one procedure for this question and answers one. See, every time, see, I am not saying we should not ask the questions, but just wanted to say that
Mm,
in between while we are going in flow, in between while asking question, we will deviate from that. So this is happening multiple times. So I would
mm,
request you to put one order, like whoever has the questions, like me or somebody else, whoever has the questions, please ask them to make a note. Towards the
uh,
end, put like 20 minutes of Q&A. So let you,
yeah,
all
yeah.
the questions are clarified. so that we'll
Yeah.
be cleared with the concept as well as the question and answers.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
think that should be fine from my end.
Yeah. But the thing is, what is happening? No, like, see, everyone here to learn the concept. Okay. So, Janardhan, what happened if I'll make people to ask in a question, we will be running out of the time and the end of the session. If I'll give you the 10-minute time, and once again, I have to come back and I have to explain whole thing. If I will be explaining here only,
Yeah,
so the people whoever asking the question, so they will whatever they have doubt. So again they will listen it because their knowledge will be fresh only. So they will listen the process, and whatever
correct.
the question they will have, it will be completed that time only, and they will have complete knowledge on this topic itself by that time only, so that we can move to the next topics properly. If I'll make it again from the in the last like question session in last, again there will be like few more questions will come and people will get confused with other topics. Okay, so that's why I'm just asking after each topic, just ask your question so that one topic will be clear, we can move to the next topic. Okay.
Yeah, okay, fine. You can proceed as per your
Yeah. So
procedure
I
and
have
way.
my personal
Yeah,
experience, that's
that
why
should be fine.
I'm just going. Okay, so
Yeah,
if no
because
one is
see, what
having
I felt was, yeah,
uh,
yeah,
yeah, Janardhan. Will Okay. So if no one is having further question, they can ask me later also. They can ping me if they want. Otherwise, like they can go through the recording also and ask me the question. So if in end of the session also, those people can ask the answer, ask the question. And let's move to the next topic. What is data warehouse? Okay, what is data warehouse? So what is data warehouse? As a definition by if you'll say that data warehouse is a database. So we know that this target data warehouse we just spoke. This is the database. This is also database. These are also in form of database. Locally, it will be stored. So this is a database where data will be stored. In a target database, our historical data will be stored. Okay. So what is data warehouse? The definition of data warehouse is data warehouse is a database and it is a system used for the reporting and data analysis. It is the system used for the reporting and data analysis. Data warehouse is subject-oriented, integrated, non-volatile, and time-variable. Okay, so data warehouse is a database and it is a system used for the reporting. As I mentioned you that if business people and decision maker, they want to generate the report from this layer only, target database, data warehouse layer database, they will be able to take the data and they will be able to fetch the report. Okay, so this is what reporting layer, this is the reporting layer. And data analysis means what? They will be able to analyze, company progress by using the data warehouse data. Once they will generate the whole year data like profit data or like whatever the transaction data, they will be able to monitor, they will be able to analyze their company profit or company loss, or like overall progress of the business through that target layer. Okay, guys, and the general definition of data warehouse is subject oriented, integrated, non-volatile, and time variant. When in interview, if they will ask you what is data warehouse, the same definition you have to give. So data warehouse is a database and it is a system used for the reporting and analysis. Data warehouse is a subject-oriented, integrated, non-volatile, and time-varied. Subject-oriented means what? If you want to, this is the whole data. Okay, so this is the whole organization data where you will have ATM data, where you will have department data, where you will have all data will be stored here. So consider that if one of the company called Reliance. Okay, so Reliance. We consider that Reliance whole organization data is stored in this layer. So this layer. So what will happen when customer want that okay, whole organization data is stored here. Department data, HR data, IT data, marketing data, sales data, everything is stored here. It's very confusing for me and it's very complex. So make a different data mart, make a different database where like single subject will be stored. Single subject means what? Purchasing will be different database, sales will be different database, marketing will be different database, IT will be different database, HR will be different database, so that we don't have to go here and in a complex architecture, and we can go different data department wise only, single department we can access from this. So so that we can take proper decision for the department wise. So this is what we are subjected, a subject oriented means it's a particular subject area will be considered in this. Okay, so consider department wise, marketing, sales, HR and all this particular subject area, they can make the database. Okay, integrated means data will come to the data warehouse from multiple sources. So transaction data will be coming from the multiple sources and it will be stored in a data warehouse. Non-volatile means what? Once the data will be there in a data warehouse, it will not change. Okay, so it will not change. The past 10 years, whatever the data is there, if you will change it, history data will be impacted. The full report will go in a damage mode. Okay, so if you'll delete any of the data, past 10 years of 1 day data or 1 month data, the whole architecture will fail. Okay, so this is what we are not changing any data in a database. Once the data will be in a data warehouse, it will not change. Okay, so general definition is like that, but in a practical manner, sometimes it may change, sometimes it may change, or like whether it's active mode or it's like deactivate mode. So those things can be changed, those things can be changed. Okay, so a new record will be added for that. Okay, and old record will be in a deactivate mode. So it's in general project method, we say that okay, data can be changed, but definition wise we can say that data, once the data will be there in a data warehouse, it will not change. So in interview what you will say, it's a subject oriented, integrated, non-volatile and time variant. So non-volatile, you will not mention that data will change. You have to mention that data will not change. Once in a data warehouse, it will not change. Time variant means what? History data will be kept. So I just discussed with that. History data will be stored. So this is what we have time variant. Okay. People who have not dropped their mail ID and name, just please drop their mail ID and name. I'll be sharing you this document for your practice purpose. Okay, after the class. So please drop your mail and name, please, so that we can drop you the this document. Okay. So time variant data warehouse will have historical data. Okay. So any question, guys? Okay, if no one is having question, then we'll move to next topic. Why data warehouse? Why we need data warehouse? Okay, why we need data warehouse? So data warehouse, general thing is that two few benefits are there for data warehouse that we are going to see. So if we use data warehouse, if we use our data in a target database, so it will be the data, whole transaction data, whole business data will be stored in a target database. Whole transaction data will be stored in a target database in one place in a proper format after the business rules are applied. It's a very perfect data we have, and the history data will be kept. So one thing is that history data will be kept. History data will be kept. Okay, so history data will be kept. One benefit is that all organization, full organization history data will be kept. Okay, and another benefit is that the decision maker, whatever the decision makers are there, they will be able to generate report and they will be able to do analysis. They will be able to do analysis in data warehouse. And whatever the data you will have in a data warehouse, that will be in a perfect manner. So another benefit of data warehouse is that your data will be in a perfect manner. It's like raw data was so much of impurities will be there, but your data warehouse will have the proper data. Okay. So this is what we have. Definition-wise, data warehouse improve the speed and efficiency of accessing different data set and makes it easier for corporate decision maker to derive insight that will guide the business and marketing strategy that set them apart from their competitor. So they will be able to take decision and they will be in a best position. They will be able to take proper decision as like considering mind in for their competitor. Okay. So this is what we have a definition of data ware, why we need data warehouse. Okay. So what is the difference between normal database and a data warehouse? So normal database means what? And data warehouse means what? Normal database means transaction database. Okay. So if you consider here, this is one consider, this is the one store, this is one store, and like that we have 1,000 store. That this store by database. So each store also will have server and their local database. Okay. So this store by database and servers, that will be considered as normal database. Okay, normal database. This server, this no, local dat store by database, local store by database will be considered as server. Okay, what is that? Normal database. Okay, normal database, and this is considered as data warehouse, target database. This is the source database where it will be generating the transaction. This will be considered as one database in a per store by. It will be considered as normal database. Okay, so it will be considered as normal database, where a data warehouse will be this layer target database where your final data will be stored. Okay, so this is what normal database optimized for transactional activity. Just now we discussed that normal database is optimized for transactional activity. Customer transaction data will be stored here, and end of the day or end of the week, those data, temporary data, whatever the data are stored in a local database or normal database, it will be moved to the further layer for the processing of the data. Okay, so end of the day or end of the week, data will be processed. Okay, so this is what we have normal database, and where like in and in normal database we'll have a small amount of data. Exactly, if we have a local database, it's just like consider that 1,000 customer only visiting one branch, so 1,000 customer only related data will be there in the end of the day. Okay, so it needs less space to keep those data to be stored. It's not like here, it's like full organization data, history data will be there. So it's need huge database, huge memory. It needs huge memory, but in this local database we don't need much space, much memory. Okay, because it's storing 1 day data or one big data, maximum 15 days data. Okay, so but whereas data warehouse will have huge data, and data warehouse store historical data of the company. Okay, okay guys. So database is designed to record data, whereas data warehouse is record to analyze data. So this is the normal database. What is there? What is there? This is the customer data, which is functioning like they are able to store the customer data. Okay. Whereas like this is designed such a way that they will store whole historical data from the analysis purpose, for the analysis purpose. This is the customer related transactional to store the transaction data. This storage use, this is for the analysis by the customer. Okay, customer or client. If I say customer or client, means when I say in data warehouse customer or client, we will be working in a project where like our client will be something SBI bank or some other bank or some other insurance company or some other retail company. All these things will be considered as our client. Okay, so database needs to be available to 26 by 7 by 360. Okay, 24 by 7 by 360. All day in a year, it should be available. It will go, it will be, if it will be stored for 5 hours or 10 hours, people will not able to utilize it, and they may miss their customer. If any of the store, if it's open for 24 hours, grocery or like medicine shops and all, if they will stop for half day, consider 12 hours it went, for the some reason it stopped, so their business will be stopped for 12 hours, so the company will have loss from that store. So that is what, if it will be stored, if downtime will be there for the database, it will be costly for the company because they are losing their business. But in database, once the data are there in a final data in a data warehouse, if it will be stopped for 1 hour, 1 day also, it's not going to impact the business. But in this, if it's like downtime, will be costly because it is going to impact the business, customer business, but it is not going to impact the business. So that is the meaning of this line. Any question, guys? Any question? Let me know if anyone is having any question.
Hello, Jayant.
Okay. So,
Hello, sir.
yeah, go ahead.
What if the customers, suppose a bank customer is having some different address, or like address is changed, or email ID is changed? So what happens in the data warehouse
So it
or
will change.
storage?
See what happened. Like whatever the like 6 months back, you were having the different address and different mail ID. Okay. Now you went today. You went to bank and you have requested them to change the address and your mail ID. So updated address will be changed to new record will be added to the data warehouse. New record will be added to the data warehouse with your updated address and mail ID in this layer. Got it?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. Okay. People who have not dropped their name and mail ID, please drop, okay? So that I'll share you the recording and the I'll be sharing you the recording in from the share path, okay? Not from the this link. So let's move. Charisma, are you getting it? Rajeshwari?
Yes, Jen, I clear about it.
Yes,
Okay,
Jane.
okay. Poonam, other people, person, whoever is there, please let me know if you are having any question. Yogesh, Vinod, okay? And please, who is having the user 942011 or VC, this, please drop your name as well, so that I will be able to identify like who are present in this classes. So next class onwards, I'll be making, I'll give the access by like, I'll be approving the entry. Okay, so this today was the free session, and next class onwards, I'll be giving you the access when based on my permission. Okay, so it will be permission based. So if you will be dropping your mail ID, I'll be knowing that you are attended the first session. Next class, I'll be considering your attendance. Okay. So the next topic is what is ETL. So what is ETL means, ETL, we were talking so much ETL testing and all. So people, no one asked that what is ETL, where our ETL jobs will come. Okay, so I was expecting this question from all you people. We are talking ETL testing, ETL development, all these things. Where this ETL come till now, 4 topics over. Complete architecture I have explained, but ETL questions not come. But anyway, I'll explain you what is ETL. ETL means extract. ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. Means E for stand for extract, T for transform, and L for load. So if you'll go in our architecture back. So this is the source. Okay, so this is the source. Millions of record will be generated per day. So those records means what? Those record means what? It will be extracted. This is the source system where like those records will be extracted from this layer, and it will be transformed in this layer. As like I have mentioned you the business logic. These are like one column they want mail ID in proper format, phone number in proper format. So these are the layer. What this is the transformation layer. Okay, so they'll apply the transformation logic, the business rules, whatever the rules, how the customer, how the client, they want their data to be loaded to data warehouse. These rules will be applied. That is nothing but it is called as transformation. Okay, and it will be stored in a target database. Okay, it will be loaded into the target database, extract from the source, transform into a staging area, load into data warehouse. This is means of the ETL. So ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. Extract, transform, and load. Okay, so this is what we have ETL method. So extract, transform, and load is a data integration process that combines data from multiple data source into a single data store. Okay, so this is extract data from source, transform into a staging area, and load into the target database. Okay, so how ETL works? So how ETL works? So same thing what I have explained you. So shown you in the diagram. Same thing definition wise we are going to see how ETL works. So 3 steps makes up the ETL process and enable data to be integrated from source to destination. From 3 steps make up the ETL process and enable data to be integrated from source to destination. So what is that? Data extraction, data transformation, okay, and another one is data loading. So using these 3 methods, using this 3 process, we are going to load data in a target database. Okay, so final approach is what? we are going to load data, proper data, perfect data, as per the client data, as per the client business data, we are going to load into the target database. Okay, so this is what we have ETL process. Data extraction, again same thing, it will be extracted from the different sources. The definition what we are going to see, this is the definition we are going to extract from the different sources. Okay, so data transformation is what we are going to apply the rules. We are going to apply the rules. We are going to transform it. We are going to transform the data from one format to another format. In our staging area, we are going to merge data. Okay, so the general definition of this, data transformation is a process of converting data into a required format. Okay, into from one format to another format. Okay, so as per the client requirement. Okay, data transformation support the following activities such as data merging, data cleansing, and data aggregation. Data merging means it will be merged, data will be merged from multiple sources and it will be stored in a staging area. Okay, and data cleansing means we are going to clean the data. If you're while entering into bank or in a store bazaar or big bazaar, you go, Reliance Press, you go. So if when they enter your data, those data, maybe your name will be not in proper method. So maybe your name, if my name is Jan, and they have mentioned like something like this, okay, in between that JYANT, and they have mentioned like this. So this is not a proper data, correct? So special characters are there. So what source team will do, they will clean this data, they will remove this data, and they will make proper data, and they will store into the mapping document, sorry, staging area, and the data will be clean. Data aggregation means what, whatever the rules will be applied for data aggregation, if they have to add some of the values from the multiple sources, that will be done. So what they have to use, some, main, max, count, and etc. So this is the definition of that. Data scrubbing means the new data will be added. Okay, so new data will be derived from the multiple sources and it will be added to the our staging area and data warehouse. So data loading is nothing but whatever the data will come from the staging area after transformation and cleaning, that will be loaded to our target database. So target database is nothing but data warehouse. Okay, so data loading is used to insert the data into target system. Target system is nothing but data warehouse. There are two types of data loading, such as initial load or full load, or delta load or incremental load, and daily load. So how many types of data loading are there? There are two types of data loading. One is initial load or full load. Another one is incremental load and daily load. In data loading also we have two types. In data loading also we have two types. One is initial load or full load. Same name will be considered, initial load or full load. Another one is delta load or incremental load or daily load. Another method is delta load or incremental load or daily load. If you'll go for definition wise, initial load, what is the meaning of initial load? It's like first time when you are inserting data, first time when you are inserting data in a database, first time when you are inserting data in a target database, in a data warehouse, that is called as initial load. By the name itself, it's mentioned that initial load means initially when you will be inserting first time data in a data warehouse, that will be considered as initial load. Very important question for the interview perspective. They will ask you what is incremental load, what is the incremental data, what is the initial load, like this. They will ask, means if you have attended 5 interview, 2-3 interview, the common question it is. Okay, so just listen it properly. That's why I'm explaining again. Delta load or incremental load is nothing but, by the name itself, if you'll see, incremental load is nothing but the second time onwards when you will be loading data top of the first load, it will be called as incremental load or delta load. Incremental load or delta load. Okay, the second time onwards when data will be loaded to data warehouse, that will be called as incremental load or delta load. Okay, guys, fine, understood? Any question? Any question, guys?
Jayant, I have one question.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay, who will upload this data? We or developer?
Yeah, good question. I was expecting this question. You remember that in the starting, I have mentioned that in the diagram, whatever the data are there in this layer and this layer. So if we'll run the Informatica workflow, those data will be loaded from this layer to this layer and to this layer. So developers will design their mapping in a designer window such a way that they will mention their designing window. If their designing window, they will develop their code in such a way that they will mention the tables, whatever the tables are there on the source side, whatever the tables are loading, going to load in a staging area, whatever the tables are in a target set, they will mention in their database, in their mapping document. And when we will run this workflow, that those rules will be applied, those coding rules will be applied, developed by developer, and it will be loaded to further layer, from this layer to this layer and this to layer to this layer. So Informatica will be responsible to load our data from this layer to this layer to this layer. Got it?
Yeah, okay. So we won't be giving any instructions or anything. So we just monitor the data flow has been done correctly or not.
Yes, yes. And
Is it?
we
Yeah.
yeah, data flow means like if 100 record we have loaded from source to staging area, and 100 records, if it's in rule, if they have mentioned that 100 record only to be loaded in a data warehouse, so we will be monitoring that those 100 record only it's got loaded to the data warehouse or not. So if it's like 90 record only got loaded in a final data warehouse, then we will be validating that why we missed 10 record, which are the tables are not loaded with this 10 record. Okay, so we have to backtrack all tables. We have to write such a query that we have to backtrack where this 10 records, where it got stuck. So like this, we will validate. Correct? Got it?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Any other question, guys? Janardhan, any question? Rajeshwari, Karisma,
No,
Yogesh,
done.
Vinay. Okay. So this is what we have here. Okay. Just give me 1 minute break. Okay. I just add.
Jayant, I have a quick doubt for a minute.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Your name?
Bharat.
Yeah.
Like what if the developers changes the data, like is it applied each and every time they make changes,
I did not get, sorry. Can you repeat once again?
like uploading the data, right? So like if
Mhm.
developers are making changes, right, like for each and every day they are
Mhm.
working and making changes, right? So like what exactly will happen if the changes are made, and like does that happen like each and every instances are
No, it
refreshed?
depends on the requirement. See how developer and whole team works. Let me tell you in a diagram so that it will give you the idea. Consider this is the requirement. Okay, so customer gave you the requirement. Okay, so this is the requirement. Okay, so they gave you the requirement. The business analyst people, they what they will do, they will explain you the complete requirement. Okay, so we are going to introduce 5 tables, we are going to introduce 6 tables, like new tables we are going to introduce, and this is the mapping document, this is our requirement. Okay, this is our requirement in Word format, and they will explain you. So developer team will understand that, and meanwhile testing team also will understand that, those requirement, whatever the requirement are there. Okay, and developer, what once they will be understood that, they will go through that requirement and they will start coding. Okay, so they will start coding. So they will start coding of their this requirement. Okay, and once the coding will be done, and testing team, what they will do meanwhile, when the developer will do the coding, we are the tester team, we are the testing team. We also understood the requirement, business analyst explained it us properly, and we understood our requirement, we got our mapping document, we will be writing our test case. Okay, we will be preparing our test strategy, how we are going to test plan. Okay, and test cases. Okay, test cases. We will be preparing our test cases. Okay, test plan. Okay, test plan on this when test plan when coding will be done from the developer. Now coding is done. So what they will do? They will deploy their code into the test environment. Okay, so in test environment after unit testing, they will deploy their code into the test environment. Okay, so we tester, what we will do? We will validate those changes, whatever the coding is done from the development team. Those we will be validating. Okay, we will be validating. Okay, we in source side, if we have 100 record and staging area, these are the rules are there. So according to those rules, it should be loaded 100 record only to target database. So we will be validating that, okay, our name should be in a proper format. If it's a Jan and different is there, so Jan Kumar, it should be properly. Okay, it should be a one column in a target database. So we will be validating that email ID, it should be @gmail.com, something like that. So these are the things we will be validating. If we'll find any discrepancy, if we'll find any error in that, like 90 record got loaded and 10 record is not getting loaded, and we will backtrack the tables where it's getting. If we find that defect, we'll raise the defect, and we'll assign to developer. We'll assign to developer that this is the boss. I got the defect. Okay, we got the defect. Please look into that and just fix it. Once they will fix it, then they will deploy the code, same code after changes, some changes, they will deploy it. We will test in our test environment. If we'll find that our data is proper, data is loaded properly in a target database, we'll give the sign off. We'll give the sign off. Okay, fine. We tested it and we are satisfied with the target database. So like this, the process will be done. Got it, Bharat?
Yeah, and how will the error be actually? Like, how does the error look? For example, you mentioned your name, in between special characters have been mentioned. So sometimes, like, we can't change that name to the proper name. So that is an error, right?
That is the error. So you're coming back to again starting. So that's what I mentioned you, that this is the data generated from different source, and it will be moved to the one layer. Okay, one database, one common database where all transaction data will be stored in a landing area. It is called, where source team will be acting, where source team will be working. We are not working in this layer. Source team will be working to make my data, if my name is Jan, and if it's like this symbol is entered in between, and they have mentioned like this. So source team will, what they will do, they will modify this raw data, they will modify this raw data and they will make it proper. And then it will move to the staging area. Then it will be moved to the staging area, and transformation logic, whatever the rules are applied by the client, it will be applied, and then final data will move to the our target database. Understood?
Okay.
Okay, guys. So thank you for asking question. Others, if any, yeah.
Jen, just want to know okay, how we are going to do the actual testing. Suppose it is a possibility that when developers are doing some transformation using the Informatica or something, so at that time it may be possibility they have done some mistake while doing the transformation. Like I need to change my data type to varchar2, but they have kept my data type as it is, like what is there in the source. So how we are going to catch that, or how we are going to test that as a tester?
So you
Where we are going to validate.
that's what again, if you'll listen it properly from the previous sheet, what I explained you, developer will do the coding. Okay, they will do the coding. Okay, so based on what they will do coding? Based on the mapping document. So mapping document will have what? So mapping document will have source. Okay, source data, and then how data is going to load in a target database. Okay, so source database and target database, and this business rules will be applied. Okay, let me show you the mapping document so that it will be clear. Okay, this is Informatica. It will be clear, whatever the doubt you have, it will be cleared in a what is that, in Informatica tool, whatever the things are there. So mapping document, this is the format they will give you the in requirement wise. So what they will mention, this is our source. This is our the column name, and this is our data type. Okay, for the source data type. And business logic, they will give you that based on this you load data to be no, to our target database. So this is the target database. Data warehouse tables. Okay, columns are there and data types are there. So what you means to say that if they have mentioned the number as a varchar 2 or something like that, how we are going to validate. So we will be doing consider that this is the source. Then we will be mention we will going to check the employee architecture. Okay, so table architecture. So table architecture, when you will run it, Rohini, your video is on. Can you just make it off? Okay, so DSC, when we say DSC, it's like we will be able to see the, we are able to see the our source data. Consider that this is a source. So it's mentioned like number in a mapping document. If you'll see, it's like number. Okay, find source column. This employee ID is a number. It's fine. But if you want to check the target database, so consider that code is our target database. Code is our target database. So consider as DESC T underscore employee.
Is that a description, short form for description?
Yeah. It's Oracle a term to see the table structure. Okay, so it's a describe the table. Okay,
Describe.
so yeah, consider that this is a target table. So employee ID is this thing. If you'll check your source table, you will check your source table employee ID number, and you will validate same thing in a target database. Like that, we are going to validate. So we are not going to confuse in this method. But I just shown you. Just don't go in a future classes. I just request to restrict yourself for the time being, and whatever the things are there, I'm just going to explain you in a Informatica when we will run the workflow. When we will run the workflow for the different transformation, I will show you with the rules, whatever the rules. If you consider that the aggregate transformation, I'll show you some rules. Based on that, I have developed the coding. Okay, I have done coding in Informatica tool in a designer window. Based on that rule, it will be loaded to our target database, and we will validate source and target. I will show you that what are the scenarios we are going to cover in filter transformation. These are the rules we are going to cover in our aggregate in our Informatica tool section when we will discuss. So complete knowledge, what are the things, how you are going to process your ETL testing, like that we'll explain. Any other question, Romin?
No, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, okay. So, okay. Will if any question will be there, we apart from this, if you want to discuss, we can go through. Not a problem. We can disconnect. We can connect after the class. Okay. Okay. So, any other question, guys? Please let me know. What is OLTP? We'll discuss that. What is OLTP? So one more question, one more thing, guys. So when you will see that, what is this architectures and all this thing, ETL, data warehouse, what is this subject oriented, all these things, when you will see a staging area and all these things. So many people who is hearing first and they will see that, think that, oh, what is this so difficult to understand all these things, that is boring also, all theoretical part. But believe me, this part, data warehouse part, only little bit boring. Apart from that, when we'll move to the our database part, it will be so much interesting. Only this part is 2 classes will be boring, 2 to 3 classes will be boring. Apart from that, everything is fine. Apart from everything is fine. Don't worry, you have to just remember it. You have to just remember the concept, nothing else. Okay, so anyway, understanding wise, I'll making you understand. If you will not understand properly, if you are like if you don't want to ask in a group, you call me, or separately you can ask me, or you can listen the recording again and again, and you can clear your doubt. If you will see, this is OLTP. For many people it will be a few new terms. Don't worry, just go through that. It's like important term in the data warehouse. If you'll read again and again, it will be clear. Like how now kids, toddler and all, they will be learning ABCD. For them also ABCD will be new, and they will be thinking that what is this? But later on, it's very useful, correct? So like that also, these are all topics are very useful in later on. So you will be using in your ETL testing frequently. So don't scared. Everything will be done after few classes. Okay, after 2-3 classes, you will be knowing each and everything. I just request 2-3 hours every day. You do practice. End of the month, 1 month later, you will have your offer letter in your hand. It depends on completely on your hard work. Okay. So let's move to the topic OLTP. What is OLTP? The full form of OLTP is online transaction processing. Online transaction processing. So by the name itself, we saw that transaction. Okay. So what is the meaning of transaction? We discuss in our data warehouse. We discuss our database also. This is the transaction database. Okay. So it will generate the transaction, customer transaction and all. So this layer will be called as OLTP. So OLTP, online transaction processing, means this layer is called as OLTP. OLTP. So we'll see that what are the different definitions for OLTP. Okay, so different definitions of OLTP is nothing but OLTP are transaction data. But just now we discussed that OLTP are transaction data. People who have not dropped their mail, please drop their mail. Please drop their mail. Okay, please drop their mail and name so that I'll be sharing you the. I'll giving you the access to the share path for the recording, as well as I'll be sharing you the document. This document. Okay, so just drop me your mail ID and name. I'll be dropping you the documents and recording, and I'll be providing you the access. So OLTP are transaction data. As I saw that in a this is the normal database, and the source side, whatever the customer transaction will be stored, that is the this is the where like OLTP called as. So this is the transaction data. OLTP is nothing but transaction data. It's storing the transaction data. Okay, OLTP have a small amount of data. Definitely, when end of the day, end of the week, data will be moved from the local database or normal database or transaction database to the further layer. So it will have a small amount of data for one branch or one day for 1 day or 1 week of data will be stored. Tables and joins are complex since they are normalized. This is done to reduce the redundant data, means duplicate data. So what is meaning of duplicate data? If consider you have went to the big bazaar and you have done some shopping, one product only you have purchased, but cashier what they have done, they have entered 10 times of your details. So those 10 times will create confusion when it will be stored in a database. When end of the day they will generate the total sales. This one record will become 10 record, and it will give the malfunction. It will give you the wrong data, wrong total sales of data which will give. So that's why it's made like very complex. Tables and joins are internally, it's very complex, so that they can reduce the redundant data. Redundant data means duplicate data. So it has fast response time. Definitely, when you will go to the cashier counter, if they will take 2-3 hours for one billing, it will be so complex. It will be so difficult, and you will go to the different store. So they have to make it in 1 minute or 2 minutes only your transaction to be done. So then only you will be find that okay, fine, it's not taking more time. I can go again and again. So the response time should be fast for the transaction. OLTP store the record of the last few days to week. Okay, so as I mentioned you that in the local source side, we will have a few days to consider end of the day data will move, or end of the week data will move, or end of the 15 days data will move. So ER modeling techniques are used for the database design. So these are all developers terms. Just for the definition wise, you have to remember it. Optimize for write operation. Definitely, when we do transaction activity in a source side, so customer will buy, and after 10 days or 15 days, they will come and they will say that I did not like this product. I want to exchange it. So in that case, if they purchase for the more value amount, so they have to update their data in a database locally. So in that case, if they will have not access for write operation, it will be difficult for them to manage the changes. So they will have access to write operations, so that same bill number they can do modification. Performance is low for analytical query. This is not much important. This is not much important. This line, just remove it. OLTP will have operation based on insert, update, and delete. Definitely, when we say write operation, so they can insert new data, they can update the old data, old customer data, they can delete the old data and they can create a new entry in a transaction data. So this is what we have OLTP. Any question, guys? We are left with 9 more minutes. I'll consider that I'll cover this one. I'll cover this topic and we'll finish the class.
Yeah, Jayan.
Yeah. Your name?
Can Karishma. Karishma.
Yeah, Karishma, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to know the point that is the ER modeling. Can you please explain it again? ER modeling technique I used for database design.
So ER modeling technique is technique used for the database designing purpose. Okay, so this is done by the architecture. This is done by the developer. So we are not bothered of ER modeling, what is ER modeling technique and all, but definition by it I have mentioned in the below. Okay, so we are not going to design our database. Designing will be done by the architecture and developer. So ER modeling technique is nothing but ER model stands for entity relationship model. Okay, so it is a high level data model. This model is used to define the data element and relationship for the specified system. For the two tables are there, three tables are there, and it is going to specify the it is going to define the relationship between the data and the tables. Okay, it develops a conceptual design for the database. It also develops a very simple and easy to design view of data. So this is the definitions of ER modeling techniques. Just for the definition only you have to go. You don't have to go for the inter level. Like you don't have to discuss more on that, because it's like we are a tester. We are not going to design our database like database architecture, or developer will be responsible to design the data warehouse or like databases. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So definition wise, we'll go through it. You go through it definition wise. It's okay. So any other question, guys? Or you people are tired? Okay, let me consider this topic as well. So then we'll finish the class and then we'll connect on Wednesday. Okay. So Wednesday it will be 7:30. No, not Wednesday. Tomorrow. Sorry, tomorrow is Sunday. So tomorrow we'll connect. Okay, so what is OLAP? OLAP stands for Online Analytical Processing. Online Analytical Processing. Online Analytical Processing. Okay. Online Analytical Processing. OLAP is nothing but Online Analytical Processing. The name itself is saying that analytical. Analytical means analysis. So where we are doing analysis, business analysis, we are doing business analysis in this layer. So in this layer, okay. So in this layer, we are doing business analysis. So which is this layer is? It is called as OLAP, Online Analytical Processing. So OLAP, this layer is nothing but OLAP. Okay, this layer is nothing but OLAP. Okay, so where customer will be able to analyze their data for the analytical purpose. It is useful. Okay, so these all things are definition by I have mentioned 9 to 10 points. Not require 9 to 10 points to remember. If you will in interview, if they will ask you that what is OLTP, you can mention that OLTP is nothing but like 4-5 point. Any of the point you can say. That is fine. That not a problem. You can mention the 4-5 point. That is more than sufficient. Okay, so I have mentioned more points so that you people will not get confused. Sir has not covered full of definition. So just consider that 4-5 point only you tell. That is more than sufficient. Okay. So what is OLAP? So OLAP stands for Online Analytical Processing. This reads the historical data for user for the business decision. As I told you, this layer is nothing but our data warehouse target layer. That is nothing but OLAP layer. OLAP layer. Okay. So tables and joins are simple since they are denormalized. This is done to reduce the response time for the analytical queries. So analytical queries means what? For the reporting purpose by the business people. So this is the tables and joins will be simple because the architecture will be very complex in this layer. So that they have to make their tables and joins simple, so that it will not get more complicated and they will be able to get their report faster. Okay, so this is what database size is from 100 GB to 1 TB. So this is going to increase. You can consider that it will have 1 TB plus size. Okay, database will have when we'll discuss about the target database, it will have more than 1 terabyte of size memory. Database memory will have it will have memory of 1 TB plus. Okay, it will not have 100 GB because whole history data, it depends on the organization also. If it's a big organization, it will be 1 TB plus. If it's a small organization, then it will be 100 GB. Okay, but each and every company who are having like 50 stores, 100 stores, they have 1 lakh customers or 10,000 customers. Everyone, they want to use the data warehouse so that they can, end of the day, they will be able to see the total sales, and they will be able to make the decision. Okay, dimension modeling techniques are used for the data warehouse design. So previously we saw the ER modeling technique for OLAP, for the target database. Dimensional modeling techniques are used to design the data warehouse. This one we'll discuss in upcoming topics. What is dimension? What is dimension data modeling techniques in upcoming topics? We'll discuss in detail. Okay, so we are not going to design a database, but we'll definition wise and how it will work. We'll discuss on that. Okay. So in ETL testing, we have not broader scope. So people do refer online class, online like Google and all these things. So don't refer those things. It will have developer things also, developer concept also. If you are going to the Google and all, so you will lost, because data warehouse, if you will go for more theoretical part, the developer part also got added. So don't go for it. Just whatever the things I gave you, that is the more than sufficient to crack the interview for ETL testing. Just refer my document only, that is more than sufficient for your interview purpose. Okay. So optimize for read operation. You cannot change data in a data warehouse. Definitely, if you will change the history data, it will impact the business data. Okay. High performance for the analytical queries. Definitely, when customer want to generate the report, it should be in a high performance. Okay, it should be in a high performance. Okay, it is used for the millions of record. It is used for to access the millions of record. When it's a history data, definitely when we have 10 years data, 20 years of history data, definitely we will have millions of billions of record for a customer. It depends on, again, for the organization or the company. How big company are, they will have that much big data. Okay, so this is what we have OLAP. Any question, guys? Any question? Let me know. Karisma.
Oh, it's clear.
Okay, Megha, Narendra, Poonam, Prasant, Kiran, Karisma, Bharat. Any question, Janardhan? If no one is having any question, tomorrow I'll ask the same question and you have to explain. Tomorrow,
Yeah, okay, Jayant.
yeah. If you don't have any question, starting of the class, each class 5-10 minutes, I'll ask the question. You have to answer it properly, how it is written in the document. Okay. So just go through that till here. I'll be sharing you the document. Whoever not shared mail ID and name, please share it. Otherwise, you will miss the
Jayant,
document.
and one more thing, Jayant.
Yeah, tell me.
I have noticed sometimes interviewers ask some of the ETL tools what you use and
Okay.
how is the ETL tool works. So these kind of things we'll cover it later, or if you want to
Yeah,
cover
it's
it
in
now.
Informatica Tool. We will cover how it works, what are the
Okay.
transformation logics are there. Everything will be covered in Informatica Tool. So if I have made separate data warehouse concept different. So if you'll see here, data warehouse concept, document separate, SQL different concept. Okay, so separate concept, Informatica separate, HPLM separate. All these things I have made it separate, so that you people will be in a dilemma like it's got mixed. It's not mixture of all these things. It will be separate. Okay.
Yeah, that should be fine. I think it's more clear also.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, let's connect tomorrow morning at 7:30. 7:30 will be fine for all people.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's
Okay. So let's connect 7:30 with the same link, but I'll be adding the permission also. So people who they have to request the permission. Before that, I'll be approving it. no need to worry. Who attended today's class, they will be attending tomorrow class also. Okay, so no problem with that. So let's connect tomorrow, and I'll be sharing you the document and the things in sometimes 1 or 2 hours. Okay, guys, people are on mute. Okay. So let's disconnect. We'll connect tomorrow morning 7:30. And end of the 1 month, just give 2-3 months, 2-3 hours per day. You will have your offer letter in 30 to 40 days. Okay. Bye everyone. Take care.
Bye bye. Thank you, Jayant.
Thank you,
Bye.
sir. Yeah.
Bye, Jayant.
Bye,
Bye.
Jen.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.